Studies. She previously served as a senior policy advisor on the State Department's Israeli-Palestinian negotiating team. Thank you for being with us, Laura. And let me put that question to you first of all. We've seen this big trip around the Middle East by Antony Blinken, meeting with Arab leaders, meeting with the Israeli Prime Minister there. What difference has any of this made?
Well, indeed, Ben, this is a crash test of U.S. credibility in the region and in the wider world. There are tremendous challenges, but they do have one advantage, and that is clarity. The mission is clear. There are three goals that they're trying to achieve: one, diplomatically; two, militarily; and three, morally. So on the diplomatic front, Secretary Blinken has gone on a peace offensive. He's traveled around the region. He's building on the Abraham Accords, and he's saying, look, we're pitching a peace tent. You're in or you're out. You're for calm or you're for chaos. The choice is clear. And this is an opportunity for some of America's regional partners to participate in something positive and also to reach out to potential new partners. Second, military force. So the U.S. is trying to deter a wider conflict. Now, Secretary Blinken is famous for the saying, superpowers don't bluff. If I had to bet, I would say Blinken will not blink. Match words with deeds. And part of this, I think, is to make up for what happened during the Obama administration in Syria, when President Assad gassed his own civilians and the United States failed to act, at least militarily. Third, I think there's an important moral mission here. Again, in the aftermath of the chaotic withdrawal from Afghanistan, this is America's second chance to do it and do it right. Yes, the United States is saying, Israel, we have your back. But while we have your back, we can whisper in your ear, don't lose your humanity, preserve a pathway to peace, and for goodness sake, take care of those civilians who are trapped in war in Gaza.
And talk to me about the comments we've had from world leaders. We've heard it time and time again: unequivocal support, unconditional support. Let me put it to you that emboldens Israel to act in certain ways because it has such support. And I wonder if we start to see the civilian death toll in Gaza rise, if we start to see the humanitarian crisis get worse. Do we see that some of the rhetoric changes too?
Absolutely. I think there's an inverse relationship between human suffering in Gaza and world support. It's not only about how Israel fights this war, it's also about how it's presented to the world. It is a war of necessity, in their words. They're saying this isn't revenge, it's retaliation. The United States is saying, no, it's not retaliation, it's self-defense. So it's a battle for hearts and minds as much as it is for territory.
And this isn't just about the Middle East, though, is it? Or even the United States or the United Kingdom. This is drawing in so many world actors. I mean, just yesterday, of course, we heard criticism from China condemning Israel's actions as being beyond the scope of self-defense. And there's a potential here to bring in Iran, to bring in Russia, to bring in North Korea. This could move significantly beyond the borders of Israel and Gaza.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a world war, but the world is at war in a sense. Certainly from a psychological point of view, with social media, everybody's invested. But absolutely, China is watching with respect to Taiwan. Putin is watching with respect to Ukraine and beyond. It's not just a test of to see if Israel can regain its position of strength, but does the United States, have we descended into sort of a weakened West, or are we going to assert ourselves with strength and power in the world? Like Israel, the United States is suffering from a lot of domestic division and political partisan fighting. And so this is absolutely a test of American credibility in the world and strength.
And what do you expect will happen next? I mean, we know the ground invasion is imminent. We know that Israel has asked the people in the north of Gaza to move south. All of this diplomacy, all of these talks, all of the rhetoric, this doesn't actually change what happens in the coming hours and days, does it?
Well, it's gunboat diplomacy, I would say, to a very, to the nth degree, because we're talking about the north of Gaza, but we also have to look at the north of Israel. That's the front that keeps military planners in Israel up at night. When I would talk to Israeli defense officials, the dumb rockets from Gaza were never a big threat. It was the north. It was Hezbollah with their precision-guided missiles armed with technology from Iran that gave them night sweats. And that's what the United States is doing with their big aircraft carriers. Speak softly, but carry big aircraft carriers. And that's what they're hoping to deter. It all depends on the north now.
Laura, thank you for your assessment and thank you for being on the programme with us tonight. That's Laura Blumenfeld, Middle East analyst and senior fellow at Johns Hopkins School for Advanced International Studies. Thank you.
Thank you.